you know Ariel Goldstein. He was here visiting us in May, and it was very successful. He met many people, and many people like you. You are very interested in joining us in our trip in April. Let's admit here someone else. Admit.
Do you have a little bit of glasses?
No.
Okay, so you know, he's going to introduce himself if you don't know him. So with you, Ariel Goldstein is there. Welcome to everyone.
Okay. Good evening for me. I don't know if for you it's afternoon still, right?
The sun is shining here.
Yeah, okay. I am, as you can see, my clothing, I'm broadcasting from Montevideo, Uruguay, and the temperature is 49 Fahrenheit. And we expect to have like 42, I think 40 at night. I don't know.
But sorry to interrupt you. That's not the temperature in the month of April.
No, I will talk about that. So I don't know how many of you were on my presentations, but last May, when I was there in Rodef Shalom and
Sharei Tzedek.
Sharei Tzedek, we talk about the book that I presented, and also about the trip. Tonight, we are going to dedicate this presentation to the trip. I will talk about all the places that we are going to visit. And of course, there's going to be time for questions that it could be useful for everybody. So I want to thanks again to Rabbi Joel Simon and Andres Conworcel from the congregations in Tampa. And I must say, you know, when I told many people that we are organizing a trip together, the conservative and the reform synagogues in Tampa, they said, "What? Together?" I said, "Yes, why not?" You know, it's how nice for the Jewish people that we are unified with something, you know. Amen, 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 amen. So thank you again, and thank you for all of you to being here tonight. So I have no idea how many of you were in my presentations, but I was born here in Uruguay, and I went to school with Rabbi Andres from age 5 to 18. So we know each other, you know, we were in a very...
I was not rabbi at that moment, so I don't know why you say Rabbi Andres. You have to say Andres, and that's all.
Andres, yes, I will not use the nicknames that were used at the time, you know. So, but of course, we know each other for a long time. And I am very familiar with this part of the world. I live in Berkeley, California for the last 24 years, and I lived in Jerusalem for 9 years, where I became a tour guide, and so that was the beginning of my life in the travel industry. And I worked as a guide in Israel for many years, and I moved to America, and I have my own company that is called Tiul, Jewish Journeys, and we run trips with Jewish content to all over the world. This trip that to Uruguay and Argentina, I have done it multiple times. I don't even remember how many times. And I am very familiar with all the places and the people and the culture that is different. Just to give you an example, is 8 o'clock, and after that I'm going for a barbecue with my friends in winter at 9:45. So for dinner, things that in America sounds super, super, super crazy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you, and I will take you through a presentation with pictures and explanations about the trip. Andres, give me the okay that you can see it.
What?
Andres?
You're co-host. Okay, so I cannot see anything right now, but
What do you see from me?
You're not sharing your screen
you
currently.
have to share your screen.
Okay. Okay, I understand what happened. Give me 1 second. I need to click share screen.
Yes. Now it's perfect.
Great.
Yes?
Yes.
Good. So give me 1 second to take this off from here. Slideshow from the beginning. Okay, here we are. So this is the countries, Uruguay and Argentina. In Uruguay, we are going to visit two cities, Montevideo and Colonia del Sacramento. Montevideo is the capital of Uruguay, founded in 1726. So next year, when you come here, we are going to celebrate the 300 years of Montevideo. There will be celebrations, and maybe we will be part of one of them. It hasn't been announced exactly what will happen. In Argentina, we are going to visit also Colonia del Sacramento. That is the first town founded in Uruguay in 1680. Buenos Aires, Santa Fe, Moisesville in Argentina, and there is an extension to Iguazu Falls that include also the Brazilian side. And the trip is going to be led by the rabbis, and I'm going to be with you all the time, sometimes as a tour guide, sometimes as a tour leader, but all the time I'm going to be there. So let's start from the beginning. This is Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay. And this is you need to mute them, Andres, all of them.
Okay.
This is Independence Square. This is the ground zero of Montevideo. This is the fantastic square that divides the old city from the city center when the city started to expand. And when you see to your right in beige color with a column, this is the presidential house. The presidential house is where the president works and not where the president lives. He needs to transport himself every day. We don't have like the White House. And what you see in the center is a monument to our national hero, Jose Artigas, and there is a mausoleum under the monument where he is resting in peace. And beyond the statue, there is the main avenue of Montevideo that we are going to walk part of it. Montevideo is a city with a lot of architectural styles, if you love architecture, and there is a lot of Art Nouveau and Art Deco that was the Belle Epoque of Montevideo in the 1920s and 1930s. And that was a country that was very rich, especially during the World War II, because they gave all the meat. We are talking about a country of 3.3 million people and around 9 million cows. So 3 cows per person. So imagine. So Montevideo is pretty unique because it's a city by the beach. The only other 2 big cities in the world that I know, like Montevideo, like this, are Rio de Janeiro and Tel Aviv. This is the city center, and this is located 10 minutes from downtown, and our hotel is walking distance. Not everybody likes the beach. It's a river beach. It's not the sea or the Caribbean. But what is fantastic is the promenade that it goes for 18 kilometers. From the port to the of the city, you can walk for 18 kilometers without lights, without any steps, nothing, flat. And it's a fantastic thing. Every morning or every afternoon, the sunsets are fantastic. Here, Montevideo is all about the sunset and not about the sunrise. And one part of the promenade is the Holocaust Memorial. The Holocaust Memorial was created in 1994, and the idea was to facing the water because this is from where the Holocaust survivors arrived, and it was like Montevideo and Uruguay opened their arms for these survivors. But what you can see is like a wall that pretends to be the Western Wall in Jerusalem, but it's broken, and it's broken because, of course, the Holocaust is the thing that broke that, and of course, we are going to visit that site. This is the newest addition to Montevideo. And this is the Jewish community building known as La Keilah. Keilah is community, and this is the Keilah Ashkenazi. So we have in Uruguay 4 Jewish communities. La Keilah is like the establishment, is the biggest one, is the Ashkenazi. Most of the Jews are coming from Poland and what today is Belarus, Ukraine, some Russians. And it was a community that was established in the beginning of the 20th century, so it is 120 years old. When the war, the First World War, was supposed to start, a lot of Sephardic Jews left because they didn't want the kids to serve in the army, so they went to all over the world, and many arrived in Uruguay, and of course they create the Sephardic community that we know them in Uruguay as Los Turcos. Why Los Turcos? Because they came from Turkey. We don't have almost Sephardim from other places, from the Balkans, or Mizrahi Jews or Moroccans. No, all the Jews in Uruguay that are Sephardic are Turkish, and they are mostly from Istanbul and Izmir. The third community came in the 1930s. That is the Germans, and we call them Los Yeques. They were escaping the Nazis when they took power in 1933, and most of them came between 1933 to 1938 when the Kristallnacht happened. And there is a fourth community, but today almost disappeared, and it's more in alliance with the Germans, that is the Hungarian community. Andres, do you want to add something about the Jewish community in Uruguay that you had a role there?
Well, I used to be the cantor, the Hazan here in the Keilah Ashkenazi for 6 years. Really, I started my cantorial career in Uruguay, and it was not here because this is a new building, but it was in the Keilah Ashkenazi.
Okay, just to let you know that the establishment in Uruguay is Orthodox, but most of the people are not. We have other synagogues. We have Chabad Lubavitch, but our trip is going to visit the German one that is called Beit Hadash, the new house, and this is the only conservative shul in Montevideo. Okay, so we are going to have the services there and the Shabbat dinner. There is no Reform synagogues in Uruguay.
So I did not grow up in Montevideo, but I did live there for 2 months in high school, went to the Jewish day school. And if I remember, did the progressive community have a female rabbi at the time?
No.
Or maybe
Never.
Never?
In Uruguay, no.
Okay.
It's very interesting, Joel. Uruguay is, I will say, without a doubt, the most progressive country in the Americas. Okay, it's a country that the church and the religion are separated for more than 120 years. It's a country that divorce was one of the first. The women voted in Uruguay before United States. It was the first one to make it legal, the marijuana, the gay marriage, and abortion. Okay, Uruguay always on the top of this, very progressive. I don't know the liberal what is exactly, but very progressive Uruguay. But the Jewish community, it's more conservative in the terms of being with the orthodoxy, even though the people are not Orthodox and they don't pack the synagogues. What you're seeing here is the new building of the Nueva Congregación Israelita. This is the German ones, okay? And this is where we are going to have the Shabbat in the lower kind of windows, and on the top floor is the dinner. Unfortunately, most of the synagogues in Latin America, they became ugly, the new ones. And they are ugly because they have this concrete wall in the front. And also you have these stoppers for car bombs. And this is all consequence of what happened in Buenos Aires in 1994, that I'm going to address that in a few minutes. But this is the place that we are going to visit also. When we are very proud of Uruguay for being the first or the most, also there are things that we are not so proud, and this is one of it. And Uruguay is the only country in the Americas without indigenous people. Okay, the native people of Uruguay are called the Charrúas, and this is the monument to the last 4 of them that is in a public park in Montevideo, and we are going to visit and talk about it. The story is that these people took place of the revolution against the Spaniards, but then when the country was created, they didn't adapt to the new laws, to the new reality. There were a lot of problems, and the first president of Uruguay decided to finish all of them. There were around between 3,000 to 4,000. And the last 4 that we are here, and we have the names, everything, the story, were sent to France. They took them as anthropologic studies in Toulouse, and they ended an exhibition in a circus in Paris. A very, very sad story between the Uruguayans and the Charrúas. And you might not know, but Uruguay is a country with fantastic wine. Our seed is the Tanat seed, as you can see, T-A-N-N-A-T. Our friends from Argentina, our brothers and sisters, they have the Malbec. But the Malbec is a wine that it comes from Mendoza, that is the city by the mountains in the Andes with a different climate. As you can see, there is the French Tanat and the Uruguay Tanat. What happened is like the seed of the Tanat originally is coming from the Basque country, but only from the French side and not in the Spaniard side. So it's very close to the Pyrenees. The French brought it to Uruguay, and for some reason that I don't know, it's the only country in the world besides the French Basque country that the Tanat grows, and Uruguay has a great wine industry, and we are going to visit a winery and taste this wine. And this is all about Montevideo, a city of 1.5 million people, very, very friendly to walk, and also very, very safe, mostly in the areas that we are going to be. It's not a megapolis, a big city. It's not Mexico City, for example. It sounds like a family town. We are going to travel by bus to Colonia del Sacramento, west toward Buenos Aires. This is a 2 hours ride, and we are going to arrive in here. This is the first settlement in Uruguay, and it was founded by the Portuguese. Remember, at the time, the 2 main powers were Spain and Portugal, and the Portuguese wanted to say, we are here, and this is part of our land. You can see the River Plate that separates Uruguay and Argentina, and the people in Buenos Aires didn't like it. They attack Portugal. Portugal attack again, Spain attack again, and when the Spaniards got tired of the Portuguese, they founded Montevideo to protect Buenos Aires from an attack of the Portuguese. That was the decline of Colonia as a town, because Montevideo has all the strategic point. But for tourism, it was the best thing because Colonia remained in the past. You can see there are a lot of old constructions. There are a lot of stone roads and cobblestones road. And the stones and the cobblestones are going to tell us if we are in the Portuguese part or in the Spanish part. So this is the same street. This is from the top. You can see on the bottom the orange house. Here is the orange house. And this is called La Calle de los Suspiros. In English is the street of the, how do you say, highs? How do you say? Suspiros? Highs, something like that. When you go, that you admire. Check it on the, I always forget this.
You say
Sigh.
size?
Sai,
Sigh.
Size.
Sai.
Price. Exactly.
Like-
That's it.
Sigh.
Why? So people think that people do that because of the beauty, of the street. You need to be there to understand the beauty, but it's not true. The truth is like this is where all the ladies at the night were working and were showing everything. So the men were passed and they were excited about that, but became the most touristy street in Colonia del Sacramento. Now, Colonia del Sacramento was like a city fortress that has a wall and also an elevated bridge. You can see the chains. And we are going to enter the city from this place. And because of that, the UNESCO declared Colonia del Sacramento the World Heritage Site, Cultural World Heritage Site. And it's one of the two that exist in Uruguay. The other one is like the meat packing places created by the British in a different part of the country. And this is the new acquisition, This is the newest ferry that goes from... That's the newest ferry that goes from Colonia del Sacramento to Montevideo. This is, it's called the Papa Francisco, to honor the late Pope Francis I, who was Argentinian. So in 1 hour in this speedboat, we are going to cross one of the widest river in the world, and we are going to arrive in Buenos Aires. A lot of fun, very comfortable. The sizes, because they brought a lot of cars, because in Argentina there are almost no beaches, so most of the Argentinians, when they come to Uruguay for summer, they bring the car and they go there for the summer. Andres, I'm going to pass over to Argentina. Rabbi Yoel, if you want to add something about Uruguay that you know, let me know.
Oh, this looks like the Noah's Ark. It's beautiful, really.
Yeah. It was built in Norway.
It's nice.
I think,
about the
again,
name.
just, and probably should have started with this, but this trip came to be when Rabbi Kornwursel and I were having breakfast and kind of found this shared connection that we have of Uruguay. And I think one of the things that makes our trip so unique is including Uruguay in the itinerary, not just because of Rabbi and my story, but because of the unique Jewish story there. And the reason I ended up in Uruguay was the person who interviewed me for my summer exchange program said, there are a lot of Jewish families in Uruguay. Have you thought about going there? And for me personally, it was seeing such a different Jewish life, but also such a shared Jewish life. And the fact that the grandmother I called Omi, because like my grandparents, she had come over from Austria during the war. So it's a very much shared story, but a very different story of Judaism in South America that I'm excited to share with all of you.
But we are all the same, because my grandmother was Oma and she was from Leipzig. So, Yes, Andres.
And of course, we're going to be visiting many more places in Montevideo. You just showed us a couple of pictures, but for sure there are many beautiful places. And if you are interested, we can show you the place where the neighborhood where I was born and my house, and I can show you the many different places. So it's going to be really great and very interesting.
Ooh, one more thing, and again, this will be true in both places. But when again, Reform and conservative synagogues traveling together, Ariel said he's going to a barbecue later on, the asado, and one of my favorite memories of Uruguay is the asado. And I did get a guarantee from Rabbi Kornmorsel that he is not going to look at what any of us are eating on the trip. So if one of your questions is, do I have to keep kosher on the trip? The answer is, we're not going to look, which means you also aren't going to look at what I'm eating.
The only kosher include meals during the trip is the Shabbat dinners, by the way. But it's important to say that on the meals that we provide, there is no treif things like pork or shellfish, okay?
It's going to be like kosher style, okay, all the meals that we are going to be providing. And then we're going to have free time. So, of course, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so just by the numbers, you need to understand that Uruguay is the little brother of Argentina. Argentina is a country of 50 million people, Uruguay 3.3. Montevideo has 1.5. Buenos Aires is like 11 or 12 million. And in terms of Jewish population, after the World War II in Argentina, there were 500,000 Jews. In Uruguay, there were 40,000. Unfortunately, these numbers are not accurate anymore. There are 200,000 Jews in Argentina and around 10,000 Jews in Uruguay. Welcome to Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, is one of the most beautiful cities in the world because Argentina was a very wealthy country in the beginning of the 20th century, and they loved the Parisian French architecture and also Italian and Spain. So it's a mix of Paris, Madrid, Italian places. And what you see here is the obelisk that is honoring all the independence of Argentina that happened in 1816. And when they created this obelisk, they decided to do this avenue that is the widest avenue in the world. That is called 9 de Julio, July 9th. You have 12 cars going to one direction and 12 to the other one, now including the buses. What is the nightmare for any tour guide to cross the street with the group. And when we do that, we are not very nice. We say, hurry up, because the lights is changing, but it's fun. It's fantastic avenue. If you see at the end of the line of the trees, there is a white building, and there is like a draw of Evita Perón talking in the balcony. But this is July 9th. Here there is the third biggest theater in the world is located here, is the Teatro Colón with more than 3,000 seats. Wow, this is ground zero of Argentina, La Casa Rosada, the pink house. This is the government house, not where the president lives. Also here, they don't live and work in the same place. And if you are facing the picture to the left, there are like 5 arches. And from these 5 arches, this is where the famous speeches of Juan Domingo Perón gave, and his wife Evita, that they were facing the Plaza de Mayo, May Square. Okay, and this is where all the demonstrations, the Argentinians, they love to demonstrate, happened during the Falkland Wars, and also happen until today every week for the mothers and grandmothers of May Square that they are looking for kids and grandkids that disappeared from the last military government, 1976 to 1983, and we are going to talk in large about that. Look how beautiful. I don't know if you know the Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, who did many things. I think there is something in Tampa. We talked last time or close to Tampa, if somebody helps me.
It's the Technologic University.
Okay, good.
Technological University in I-4.
Okay, so that's the same architect, a Spanish architect, very famous. This is in the river is not that beautiful like in Montevideo. There is no beach in Buenos Aires, but there is this canal and the entire zone was reconverted. Also, there is the statue of Ana Frank very close to here. And this bridge, it's called Puente de la Mujer, the woman's bridge. Why? Because what you see is the heel of the shoe of a woman when she's dancing tango. Okay? And here we have the tango, you know. When I introduce myself, I say, I am from the country of the soccer, the tango, and the good meat. From Argentina. I said, no, I'm from Uruguay, you know. And that's give you an idea on how similar we are. We speak the same accent. We have a same story, and we have the passion for the tango, for the meat, and for the soccer. But of course, in Argentina, it's more bigger, more intense, and the tango dancers are all over. I took this picture. So, and also we will have the chance to go to a real professional tango with dinner included.
Are we going to dance tango?
Maybe. You and me. Do you know that the tango in the beginning was a dancing between men? Did you know that?
Very interesting.
The tango started in the boats by the French sailors when they're navigating to the River Plate to Uruguay and to Argentina, and the women were incorporated much later in the dance. So I said that after World War II, Argentina was the fourth biggest Jewish community in the world after United States, Israel, and Soviet Union. And this is the Great Temple. It's called like this, the Gran Templo Libertad, because it's in Liberty Street. And look at that. You can imagine, look at from the outside, you can imagine inside. And unfortunately, you see the barriers for the car bombs. And we are going to visit here, absolutely. The Jewish Museum is next door, and we are going to visit too. And this is the Pasteur Street. As you can see, there are flags of Israel and Argentina. And in the blackboard, it says Memoria y Justicia. It's Memory and Justice, July 18, 1994, and the names of the 84 people that were killed in this terrorist attack, probably by Iran and Hezbollah. It brought down 7 floors. That was the most important Jewish institution in Argentina, that is called AMIA, that is Association of Mutual Jewish Agency. And the building was rebuilt on the same place, but a little bit behind. All the security is Israeli technology. It's extremely difficult to enter here. We are going to enter here because we have contacts, and we are going to send our passports in advance, and every person is going to be checked one by one. But it's a place of sadness, but also joy that everything was rebuilt and the Jewish community in Argentina is still alive. There are so many things to talk about Buenos Aires. I can talk for 1 hour. We don't have time. It's a fantastic city with avenues, parks, monuments, gastronomic things. There are a lot of kosher restaurants in Buenos Aires that you don't have in Montevideo. And then we are going to fly only 1 hour to the city of Santa Fe. Santa Fe is not a big city, but it's historical and is very well known for this very strange bridge that maybe we will walk part of it. And we are going to take the picture here with the sign that says Santa Fe. We go to Santa Fe because this is the place that we need to sleep in order to go to our next station. And what you see here is the abandoned factory, as a silo. So the hotel, it's called Hotel Los Silos, the silos, and it has the walls in this shape, and this is the hotel that we are going to stay. That is fantastic, and as you can see on the top, there is a swimming pool and fantastic views. There is also a Jewish community in Santa Fe, very small. This is the synagogue that we are going to visit, and there is a Holocaust museum on the first floor that has an accent of the people who arrive in Santa Fe. And it's very nice to see because here in this complex, the synagogue is conservative, but there is a little room for the people who likes to follow the orthodoxy. Okay, and I think they call it El Shulito, like the little shul, you know. So this is Santa Fe. And the following day, we wake up early and we're going to take a 2 hours ride to visit the unique place in the Jewish world that is called Moisesville, or in the local language, Moisesville. Moisesville is the beginning of the settlement of Jewish settlement in South America, or in Latin America. We are talking about the year 1889, when let me see, no, it's not here, where the Baron Maurice de Hirsch started these agricultural colonies and started to brought Jews from Ukraine to settle in Argentina. And they settled, they knew nothing, and they became the Jewish gauchos, the Jewish cowboys. And slowly they started to build things, and they built this fantastic synagogue for the 50th anniversary of the town that is called Baron Hirsch. You know, that was the philanthropist who made the money to create the town. It's a beautiful synagogue from the outside, from the inside. So if you think that being one Jew, you build two synagogues was created in Tampa, you are wrong. You know, in Moisesville, many years before, they have another synagogue because you need to have one to go and one to never set foot there. And this is the Brenner Synagogue that a short time ago was completely renovated by the Argentinian government because it was declared as a national monument, a landmark. And it's fantastic to hear the stories. And in Moisesville, they created the Escuela Yahadut. If you read Hebrew, you will say that below it's not Hebrew, it's Yiddish, because it says Shule, you know, not Beit Sefer, Shule Yahadut. And that was the school that prepared teachers, Hebrew teachers, to go to every corner in Argentina and then in South America. Students from all over South America came to Moisesville just to study Hebrew and to become teachers. And this is what you see. Very common in the town. It's a town of 4,000 people. Hey, where do you live, or where do we meet? Let's meet on Theodor Herzl corner, State of Israel. E means Estado of Israel. Those are some of the names that the street has. And today there are around 250 Jews, but there is a fantastic museum. There are 3 synagogues. There is a cemetery, and they have a theater, the Kadima Theater. And our cantor rabbi is going to sing for us there. It's going to be quite amazing. And this is the last stop of the main trip. And after that, for those who want to continue to take advantage of coming to South America, there is the Iguazu Falls. I have traveled around the world many, many times. I must say that the Iguazu Falls is one of the most beautiful ones, and definitely I will put it in the top 3. Just imagine the noise that is happening here. What happened is like a piece of earth sunk here and create these falls. All what you see from the falls to the right side is Argentina. All what you see to the left side is Brazil. If you look in the bottom of the left side, you will see people walking. You will see people walking on the top of the right side in Argentina. So the question always is, what is the most beautiful side? I say Argentina, but you need to go to Brazil in order to see it. It's so beautiful. Besides being spectacular nature, the currents are so strong, the mist of that create these fantastic rainbows all the times. And we are going to have a lot of fun the last day going under the water, where you are going to be completely wet, but you are going to receive equipment for your stuff. There are a lot of animals who live here, and one of them is the coati. It's from the family of the raccoons. They are not afraid of people. The only thing that the people from the park ask you is not to feed them. And look how beautiful. I took this picture, the coati with the Iguazu Falls, that is cinemascope. If you were in Niagara Falls, I'm telling you, we haven't seen anything about falls. Iguazu Falls is much, much, much better. And this is another one of my favorite pictures. These guys, the toucans, with their very long and thin tongue, are there all the times welcoming you to the Iguazu Falls. The flight from Buenos Aires to Iguazu Falls is only 1 hour and a half, okay? And with this, I'm finishing. This is my company, my website. You can take a picture. I am in Berkeley, California, usually, not tonight. And what I do, and you want to learn more about me, my company, you have here the website. So with that, I don't know if the rabbis want to add something, or
if you want to stop sharing your screen. Yes, very good.
Yes.
So I guess that people are going to have many questions for you. So please unmute yourselves. And well, I have one question from Barbara, and she's asking, what about anti-Semitism in these countries?
There is anti-Semitism all over the world, unfortunately. Argentina, more than Uruguay, because everything is smaller in Uruguay. In the post-October 7th world, Jewish world, we need to be careful. I have run a lot of trips to Europe or to Morocco, that is a Muslim country. Nothing happened, but we need to be smart. We don't need to share, we don't need to show to the whole world that we are Jewish. But something very interesting is happening in Argentina. The president is very, very, very pro-Israel. Javier Milei, he was in Israel last month. He's a very good friend with the Israel Prime Minister, and they call him Javier. They're playing with the words. And very, very, very pro-Israel. He's studying Kabbalah. Probably when he ends his term, he's going to convert to Judaism. And his personal rabbi was named as the ambassador of Argentina in Israel.
Yes, it's very interesting.
Nice.
Okay, questions.
How do you ask a question?
Okay, who wants to ask a question?
You just ask, honey.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. I have a lot of questions, mostly to do with food. I don't see breakfast being offered on any day.
Every day in the hotels.
Okay. Okay, so that's part of what's being paid for. Okay. It's
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not. Give me 1 second. Let me check if. Yes, it's written in parentheses. B is breakfast. BLD. Sometimes you have LD. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I think I
Yeah.
must have missed that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No.
And then the flights that were listed, you have to take those flights?
No. This is what we. Okay. Uruguay is more complicated than Argentina because the connections. And from Tampa, you can fly to Panama, and from Panama, nonstop to Montevideo. Another option that I don't know if it is going to be available because they change all the time is to go to Miami and take the American Airlines to Montevideo. But if not, the Copa is partnered in Star Alliance with United. It was a subsidiary of Continental. It's a very well airline, one of the best in Latin America. They don't fly out of Latin America, and they fly to 14 states of 14 cities in the United States. I flew 2 days ago, Copa, from San Francisco to Panama, 2 hours in Panama, and I flew to Montevideo. That's the best way to do it.
Okay.
And you
then
need to purchase your ticket, of course.
I'm sorry?
You need to purchase your ticket. It's not included the international ticket.
It's not included.
No,
Okay.
what is included is all the domestic tickets that I'm taking care of it.
Okay. And then I see that Aloft is one of the places to stay.
Yes,
And we do have points with Marriott. Is it possible to use those points and
of course.
okay.
No, you cannot use the points, but when you no, because
No.
you cannot use them, but you can earn them.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have more questions, but I don't want to stop anybody else from asking any
No,
questions.
ask questions, honey.
Okay. So the Shabbat in Montevideo, Friday night, I understand there's a dinner, but what about Saturday night?
What's the question?
Dinner on Saturday night in Montevideo? That would be on our own?
Let me see. Yes.
Okay, so I have a question. I don't speak the language. I don't know where I am. What am I supposed to do?
No.
No.
Let me answer one thing. When it says by your own, it doesn't mean that we cannot go together. It's like, of course, we're not. You can go by yourself, but many people can go together and visit different places.
And also the Hotel Aloft has 3-4 restaurants 1 block from there that I will point them, that everybody speaks English and they have menus in English, and there are great restaurants.
Okay.
That
Okay.
when we say that officially we are not doing something, that it doesn't mean that we are not going to be all together anyway.
Okay. Okay. And then about Iguazu Falls, Dennis had a question about that.
Yes, to me, that's one of the main things I want to see. Is there a way to change the itinerary so that it's part of the main tour and not an add-on for an additional significant amount of money?
Well, the problem is we did it because some people cannot afford everything, and some people cannot take so long a vacation, So, but if we have enough people, we are going to run it. And this is more a question to the rabbis. This is just that was the main reasons, right?
Well, we are doing a 14 days trip, and that's many days really. But if you want to keep traveling, of course, that's an added thing.
Is it 14 plus the Iguazu Falls?
Right. Right.
If
So 14.
for some reason, I hope not, but if for some reason we don't have enough people to run the extension, those who want to do the extension, we are going to help you to organize everything.
Yes. Joel is asking, are we offering a flight folks can purchase who want to fly with us? Joel, can you explain this?
No, in other words, and I'm sorry that I haven't talked about this before. So people can make their own flight arrangements, but do we want to, maybe you and I figure out what flight we're going to be on and let people know. So if they want to fly with us, they can.
Right.
Well, I guess we're going to have a main flight,
Right.
everyone to join us, and all of us are going to go together. If you want to go
That's what I was
2
asking.
days before, or it's up to you. And you, of
Or
course,
you have a different airline that you
Yes,
want. But we'll
yes.
have a flight that we're going on that we'll let you all know.
yes,
I will be waiting for the people who come on this flight. If you come in a different flight, we are going to provide the information. But in Monterrey, it's very easy. You take a taxi or Uber, you go to the hotel. It's just half an hour, and it doesn't cost much, and it's safe.
Okay. Gary Smith, do you want to ask the question directly, or I read it here? Okay, he's saying, I'm not from Tampa or a member of the synagogues there. I'm hoping to go with my sister, who is a member. Am I able to be a participant in this trip? Of course, it's not just for Shalit Tzedek or Rodef Shalom members. It's open to everyone, Jewish and non-Jewish community. You are welcome. No, because he wrote, thank you. So
Can you tell us how strenuous this trip is in terms of how many hours we're going to be walking?
First of all, let me talk about the weather, because you see me now like this, but this is August. April, May, this trip is in April, right? So April it's the fall. It's beautiful. It's beautiful weather to walk. First of all, Buenos Aires and Montevideo are flat, okay? No stairs like in Europe, no hills like in San Francisco, And there is not much walking involved, but there will be free time for you if you want to walk on your pace. Because the walking always, some people want to walk slower and some people want to walk faster. That's why the hotel is located in very good places that you will be able to walk on your own. Most of the days, by between 4 or 5, we are going to finish, and you will have 2 or 3 more hours of daylight.
Okay.
and I guess that we can organize different non-official trips.
I think Yvette is trying to ask the question, but she's mute. You are mute, Yvette. You are mute.
Where is it? 1 second. Ask to unmute. No,
Now, yes.
I just want to congratulate you. The guide, my rabbi, both rabbis, of organizing this. This is one of the most beautiful experience you would ever have. The only advice is you have to go with the flow. But you will enjoy it so much. I'm from there. I go every year. This couple of years.
Where are you
I've
from,
been here.
Yvette? Where are you from?
Argentina.
Porteña?
Buenos Aires, Porteña, yes.
Porteña, from
All
Buenos
my
Aires.
family lives there. I have a sister with 5 children and 13 grandchildren. And we always say that we were blessed. We were blessed to be in Argentina. And there were critical times, but we learned a lot.
Good, thank you. De nada.
Cualquier cosa, anything, Rabbi Andres and Joe, anything that I could be helpful, I will do it for you, because I think in here in Tampa, those 2 synagogues are very close to my heart.
Thank you.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, gracias.
And by the way,
¿Qué?
no, I'm saying that we are going to have like maybe a couple of months before the trip some Spanish lessons. Okay.
Okay, I'll do it for free. I'll do
Yeah.
anything. I'm a retired lady that loves to help anybody that needs my Spanish and my sense of humor.
Good.
Gracias.
Okay.
Adios. Bye.
Right. No,
There is a
I was saying we are going to be offering some Spanish lessons on classes. So if you know nothing about the language, you are going to learn many expressions and words and things.
there is a question if
Month leading up to
we
the
need
trip.
visas.
It's closed on 3 sides.
2 sides.
I was joking. I was saying for the month leading up to the trip, Rabbi Kornwersel and I in both synagogues, all of our sermons and services
In
will only be in
Spanish,
Spanish.
of course, that's good.
Andres,
Do we need
there was a
visas?
question, do we need visas? The answer is no. Definitely not in Argentina and Uruguay. Brazil, not yet. They want to reinstate the visa for Americans in Brazil. The relationships between the president of Brazil and the president of the United States are not good. And, I follow that, because there is the tariff and many countries, they want to fight that and different ways. If there is a change, we will let you know. I want to say 2 more things before I forget. That the registration started, we have some people who already signed up. I think we have 4 or 5 people. You do it everything online through the page. I think Andres, you can send the page again to everybody. The second thing is like 3 weeks or a month before the trip, we are going to have a special Zoom just for the people who sign up. For the trip, we are going to explain more things in depth, climate, money, security, time, plugs, things like that is not relevant to talk about that. And we are going to do it. And you will have the chance also to introduce yourself. So when you arrive in Tampa, somehow the people know your picture and a little bit of your story.
Yes. Your website is on Facebook for sure, but I will see if I can send it now on Zoom also. Let me see what is. I think some people will need visa, right, or something for the Iguazu Falls to cross.
Visa?
Or something. You said something like that last time.
Not at this moment, but we need to follow the situation with Brazil. Okay, if it is, it will be something online that you need to pay and have it.
Okay.
Here is the website.
Okay, you said it. Very good.
Yes. The trip is on the web, and you just click and you go to the sign up. Very easy. Already some people did it.
Till when do we have time to sign up?
Everything is on the website. The last payment is 4 months before the trip starts. So it's in mid-January. But if we can do it earlier, the better, because we need to buy domestic tickets to Santa Fe round trip, and for those who go to Iguazu also, and the ferry from Colonia to Buenos Aires.
And remember that we only are going to have 1 bus. Okay.
Yes.
Capacity is limited to no more than 40 people. So hopefully you're going to be the first 40 ones. And the only ones, because it's a 40 people trip.
Yes.
For sure, there are many more questions. Please don't be shy. No more questions. Okay. Wow, everybody's signing up right now. I can see this.
So also in my website, of course, is my email. So you can contact me by email directly. I prefer email and not the phone because I'm traveling a lot and not not in the same time zone, but we can also coordinate a phone call if you want. But I always reply to email immediately.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you very much from Montevideo, Uruguay. I hope next time I come to Uruguay is going to be with you. And thank you to Rabbi Joel and Rabbi Andres and all the people who participate tonight. Buenas noches desde Montevideo.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you. Shalom.
Shalom.